Hello everybody, my name is Snoozy, director and head of operations at Sony. Today and also many other days, we want to inconvenience our players. Wow! It's customer service, we never said it was good. By playing Until Dawn on PlayStation 4, you must sign in with a PlayStation Network account to play our game. But don't worry, when you sign into the remastered edition of Until Dawn on PC, you still have to sign in with a PlayStation Network account. We know you probably don't have one yet, so make one today. We funded a movie about killing Kim Jong-un. Make one today. The amount of angry Steam reviews mentioning that you have to have a PlayStation Network account to play Until Dawn is actually kind of funny to me because A, it was a PlayStation exclusive, and B, it's free to make an account. It took me less than 3 minutes. Look at the list of other games and companies that have inconvenient methods of signing in, so this seems like a stretch. It feels like people are actively looking for something to complain about. Matter of fact, a lot of people are complaining about the remaster of this game due to the bugs, the price tag, the soundtrack, the graphics. But are they valid complaints? Let's talk about it. Until Dawn originally came out in 2015, showcasing a story about 8 teenagers revisiting a cabin where a tragedy had happened the previous year. You get to play as every character, and each decision that you make decides how the game is going to play out and how the characters interact with each other. Depending how you play, you can save everyone, or if you're feeling a little spicy, you can kill everyone just by hitting the wrong button or making the wrong decision. So the game plays out on the decisions you'd make, which I think is a cool concept. The remaster released 9 years later and does the exact same thing. There's not a catch. But hear me out, folks. The color changes are actually better than the original. Until Dawn 2015 constantly had this blue, foggy filter over a majority of the story, which, believe me, definitely fit the tone. But not only are the graphics just better now, but instead of having a creepy, eerie vibe right away when nothing was happening yet, it's been replaced by a sunset while the characters still look happy to be back at the cabin. It's warm and welcoming and friendly, but then when the sun sets, things start seeming out of place. Now we begin developing that creepy vibe that we're familiar with, and ooh, it's so pretty. I don't even care what y'all have to say about it. If you're gonna cry about it, save your tears. I'm thirsty. Walking through these snowy trails, leaving footprints, seeing the 4K moonlight and the colors. The shading and shadows are done very well, which kept the energy high. It always made me feel completely immersed. Both versions of this game did a very good job at creating an atmosphere that fits the story. I think it's unique that a remaster was able to pull off a different look while also keeping it faithful to its roots, which I think is why the community is so tore up about this game, because it really just comes down to personal preference. Nostalgia or better. I'm starting to think these haters are monogamous. Why just like one when you could have two? Speaking of two, it's too bad what they did to the soundtrack in this game. You can hear it playing in the back right now as we speak. It's like me doing a sexy dance and taking off a $200 suit because it's unfitting. This is a horror drama. This is a teen pop song that could have been pulled off of the free YouTube catalog. It makes sense considering they lost the rights to the original soundtrack, but why did they replace it with this? Speaking of replacement, Dr. Hill is off playing Call of Duty Black Ops 6, and it took me 9 years to come up with that joke. Fans were complaining about the soundtrack and sound effect changes such as the Wendigo screams, but there was nothing that stood out so much to me that I'd consider them bad changes, outside of the intro song, of course. Just a mild disappointment if you really take the time to compare the two. However, nothing actually stood out to me until after I finished the game and started reading other people's reviews, so maybe you just gotta stop looking at critics. The gameplay itself hasn't changed much since the original. There's still the getting caught on inanimate objects and partially clunky movement if you walk in the wrong direction by accident, awkward motion capturing in the faces, and funny dialogue depending on how you play the game. Let's take a look.
Okay, first things first, we gotta increase the water pressure before we get the boiler fired up.
Ah, damn.
It's okay, just try again. Relax. Press the button when the light comes on.
Ah, damn.
It's okay. Just try again. Relax. It's not that hard. Just press the button. Try again. That's more like it. All right. 5, girl.
But I feel like that's what gives the game its charm. If the game isn't jump scaring me, it's making me laugh. Also makes me feel like I'm playing a video game instead of just a very expensive movie. The imperfections are what makes it fun. The constantly changing camera angles give unique perspectives to play the game in, and the third person you play most of the game in was done very well. Once again, nothing stood out as bad. I'd go as far as to say the gameplay was actually improved upon. Oh, but Snoozy, the bugs. I played this entire game in 9 hours, 2 days after the release, and I did not have the game crash once. Any bugs I did have were very minor and maybe lasted a couple of frames. It was all a very smooth experience, and I've taken the liberty of noticing that most of the bugs that were happening were previous to the day one patch, which seemed to fix a majority of the issues that the community was having. I will, however, say the price tag on this bad boy is hefty. It's large, big, massive. Wow. Hello, I'm Snoozy, director, head of operations, and janitor at Sony. We've just remade the same game we made 9 years ago, but here's the catch. It's the same price. Wow. 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 As someone who never had a PlayStation, I genuinely didn't mind paying full price for an updated version of this game with ray tracing, but I could understand the frustration of somebody who's buying this for their PlayStation 5 that already owns a copy for their PlayStation 4. It's finding the same problem that most remakes are running into, like this, or this, that one, this, where people don't want to pay full price for a game that they already own or have already played. And that's incredibly fair. But being that the only two downsides are the price tag and the one song in the beginning, I would genuinely say this game is worth playing if you haven't had the chance to yet, or if you're just a big fan of the original. Also, most of the negative reviews are from people who played the game less than an hour, meaning they heard the opening song and went, it's a travesty, but I'm not gonna refund this. And all of the positive reviews on this game are the ones who actually played it and stepped their feet into the snow of this game. I personally think that the only reason you wouldn't enjoy this game is if you're blinded by nostalgia. This is an eye-catching, entertaining, keep you on the edge of your seat, fun experience if you're willing to pay the price. Just wait a month and buy it on that Christmas discount. I'm about to go bust one out.